All right, you guys, welcome to Spark It Up Sports, your one-stop shop for all things football and all things marijuana.
I'm Big Steve.
And I'm Johnny.
We're coming to you from our home studio in Pacific Beach, California. College football is over. There's a new champion, Ohio State.
Congratulations to Ryan Day and the Ohio State Buckeyes avenging their loss to Michigan. Almost ruined their year. Real rebound for them, and congratulations to them.
Huge rebound. He's keeping his job. We were calling for his head after that Michigan loss, and they've ran the table since then. Cool to see Big Ten back-to-back champs. So Big Ten's back. Love to see it.
Big Ten is back.
Topics for this week. The divisional round is over, so there's 4 teams left in the NFL. We're going to do a conference championship preview, too. And then we also have a national championship recap from tonight's game, Notre Dame versus Ohio State. Ended up being a good one. Thought it was going to be a blowout, so...
Notre Dame, Marcus Freeman, leader of young men, really leading those guys into this game.
I was surprised they came back, to be honest. I thought it did get out of hand, but they kept it close some way, somehow. For our blunt of the week this week, we got the St. Ides. We did this a few weeks ago. There's 2 blunts in it, 2 grams in each blunt, and they're full nug flour.
I love the whole nug flour. It gives a real good taste to it.
Yeah, I got it from the Buzz Dispensary. It was like 2 for $35, so not the worst deal when you're getting 2 of them.
Not the worst.
Shout out Buzz Dispensary.
All right, let's go spark it up, Sparky.
Yes, sir.
All right, we ain't got that many games this week, so we got to spark it up early.
Not many games, but they were all important games.
Best of the best, facing off.
And I think the big thing from the divisional round was turnovers. The teams that had the most turnovers obviously did not win their games.
Absolutely.
That was the trend for almost all of them.
Also, multiple turnovers. I think once
That's
again,
what,
we had
3
turnover game, 2 turnover games. And
3 of them lost.
Yeah. I mean, very surprising that you can turn the ball over 3 times in the NFL and still have a chance to win.
Goff had 3 interceptions. Jameson Williams threw a pick. Not going to win that way.
Nah. All right, let's dive into this very first game. Saturday, January 18th, Texans at the Chiefs. 14-23 win for the Kansas City Chiefs. Taylor Swift and Mahomes riding themselves into victory.
Ooh, Mahomes, he had a pretty good game. He was 16 for 25, 177 yards, 1 TD. Like you said, Taylor Swift was there, getting plenty of TV time, so you know they're going to win that game. It was kind of funny. The game started. Chris Boyd got a penalty for taking his helmet off. And did you see him go and, jack his coach, dude?
Insane.
Pushed him on the sideline. The coach's like, what the fuck?
Tosses his penalty. Game just started. No one knows what the fuck is going on. He gets a 15-yarder for slamming his penalty on taking his helmet off on the field.
My man lost his mind. Lost his damn mind. First play of the game.
But Mahomes, definitely the story of the game. Takes his record to 16-3 in the postseason.
They didn't skip a beat with that bye week either.
Absolutely.
Ready to go.
People were worried Mahomes hadn't thrown a pass since Christmas Day. Didn't even seem to faze the guy.
Didn't matter.
Travis Kelce, 7 receptions, 117 yards. Definitely a great touchdown for him in this game. Probably sealed the game for them.
It's like they're rejuvenated. They took a couple weeks off because they were able to do that with what they did in the regular season. They come out ready to go in the playoffs. Awesome to see.
Kareem Hunt, great night for him. 8 carries, 44 yards, got in the end zone. C.J. Stroud, impressive night. Not enough, though. 19 for 28, 245 yards. Gets sacked 8 times in this game.
And like we said, going into this game, the O-line was of concern, and they were definitely a concern in the game. Chris Jones went absolutely off, number 95 for the Chiefs. He was lining over the right tackle, left tackle, guard, center. Didn't fucking matter. He was beating each one down the line, back and forth. So, yeah, they got ragdolled all game. Chris Jones is a beast out there. He's definitely someone to watch in the playoffs.
Absolutely. Texans kicker Kiami Fairburn was one of the best place kickers throughout the season. Unfortunately, in this game, he misses a field goal, misses an extra point, and has another field goal blocked. Unfortunately, leads to them losing this game.
Can't be doing that.
Andy Reid gets his 300th win of the season, gets quoted after the game, few more wins and will equal my weight. That's a lot of wins for the big guy.
That's so many wins. So many wins. 16 games a year. Well, now there's 17, but like, dude, that's so many fucking wins. When he was in Philly, won. They didn't quite make it to win the Super Bowl, but he's always won.
Definitely a winning coach. Definitely a winning coach.
One thing from this game that I want to take note of is Patrick Mahomes and flopping and like other quarterbacks and the flopping that is now going on in the NFL. You see these players when they get close to the sidelines, now they're trying to like kind of stay in bounds, get extra yards. If they get touched, they're fucking falling back like they got smoked in the face. It's getting absolutely ridiculous, I think. And one of the ways you can take care of that is you call a penalty on the flopper.
Yeah.
Like a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct for being a little bitch. And then that'll put an end to that flopping real quick.
Absolutely. We're used to seeing it in the NHL. The hockey has it. Soccer's starting to give out yellow cards for it. Yeah. So it's definitely there's definitely a case for having.
Yeah, and that was like what the thought that came to my mind was the hockey, because like they have the 2-minute embellishment penalty in hockey. For those of you who don't know, if they think you embellish a penalty like tripping or whatever, or blades in the skates, then they'll give you a 2-minute penalty and both players are off the ice.
Absolutely.
So I think that is something that needs to get brought up this off season. It needs to get nipped in the butt before we turn in the fucking NBA out there.
Absolutely, especially in this game. A lot of people calling that the refs are on the Chiefs' side already. Mahomes did have a play where he dived down, 2 players dive over him. They end up making contact with each other. Mahomes ends up drawing the 15-yard penalty.
Yeah.
So definitely a little...
Well, one of my thoughts with that, too, is like Mahomes is putting himself into the Tom Brady discussion, the Michael Jordan discussion, these greats of their sports that, like, get a little better treatment than the other players do. And, like, I grew up watching Michael Jordan, and you saw that with him. Yeah. Like, penalties aren't called or fouls are called, and, like, you're definitely seeing that in the NFL now.
Absolutely.
So.
You also saw it with the great one, Mr. Tom Brady.
Right,
Raiders owner.
They made new rules for him.
Absolutely.
So
Tuck rule.
This isn't the first time it's happened where these star players are getting the special treatment.
Nah. Definitely a great game for Kansas City. Looking forward to a great matchup between them and the Buffalo Bills next
can't
week.
Wait,
can't
dude.
wait.
Can't wait. In Kansas City. Ooh, what a game.
All right, probably the game of the weekend. Washington at Detroit.
Unbelievable. Washington wins this one 45-31. I felt like Washington was pretty much in control the whole game. The name of this game was the turnovers. Lions turn it over 5 different times, and they just can't overcome that deficit. Jared Goff was 23 for 40, 313 yards, 1 TD, but he had 3 interceptions and 1 fumble loss. That's 4 turnovers coming from your quarterback. Like, that can't happen.
Day. Not going to be winning games when you turn the ball over 4 times in a game.
Insane.
No.
And they had another fumble, or Jameson Williams had that pick. So they had 5 turnovers total. Not good at all. Jaden Daniels, absolute beast. He is the second rookie to defeat the top seed in the playoffs. Second one ever. I was looking it up earlier. There's never been a rookie quarterback to start in the Super Bowl, and there have been 5 rookie quarterbacks to start in the NFC title game, so he's joining some of those great names in there. It'll be interesting to see how he plays. He's so calm, cool, and collective under pressure. He has been all year long. He's like unflappable in those certain situations, so I'm excited to see him play in this game.
Absolutely. His pocket presence is unfazed. He's not like other quarterbacks where he's hopping around. He's very calm and cool and collected in there.
He makes a decision and he goes. Like,
yeah. Let's see Jaden Daniels take these Washington Commanders to their first Super Bowl win in, 5,000 plus days?
6,970 something.
That's a lot of days.
So many days.
But yeah, great day from Jaden Daniels. 22 for 31, 299 yards for him, 2 touchdowns and no interceptions. Using his legs as well, 16 rushes for 51 yards. Very impressive.
I mean, he's the best rookie we've ever seen. The only one that kind of compares is Purdy, but he can't run. So
also shout out Scary Terry McLaurin. Great play from him. Breaks a couple tackles, finds the end zone. Amazing play.
Ohio State alum, so he's fired up tonight.
Absolutely. He was probably there.
Scary Terry.
Scary Terry. All right. Rams at Eagles, 22-28 win for the Philadelphia Eagles. Saquon Barkley runs wild in what became a winter wonderland in that second half.
Dude, this stuff came out of nowhere. Nice green out there, and the next thing you know, they're shoveling lines. I don't know where the ball's at. Insane.
One of the funniest things in this game is when the Philadelphia Eagles kick that field goal. The huddle kneels down, wipes all the snow off the ground.
Okay, so the rule changed. So now you can only use players.
Yeah, you're not allowed to use a towel. You're
You
not
see
allowed
the
to
whole
use
team
anything.
over
So
there
they're all
kicking
kicking
snow. Hilarious, dude. It looks like there's a group of kids playing in the fucking snow out there. It's awesome.
They did a great job. Cleared up a nice
Whatever
little patch
means
for him.
necessary, dude.
Elliott put it straight through those crossbars. Great play for him. Great play for the team.
Isn't that rule? Because the Patriots or something, didn't they bring a fucking shovel out there? Clear the spot.
All right. Saquon Barkley, 26 carries for him, 205 yards, 2 touchdowns.
I mean, you texted us
Incredible
earlier.
day.
You called it. He absolutely went off,
I
dude.
called 120 yards. He goes off for 205.
He had
Great day.
2 long runs, 2. Jalen Hurts had a 40-yard touchdown run, so.
Great day for the legs on these two guys. Jalen Hurts, 15 for 20, 128 yards for him, 7 rushes for 70 yards. And Rams could not overcome that cold, snowy conditions.
Yeah, 2 turnovers. You see the one Stafford had, just couldn't quite hold on to that ball, dude.
Just not crisp with those passes.
Yeah, they were still in it to the end. They made it a game, so the Eagles are definitely a team you can beat. Like you said, Jalen Hurts went down with what looked like a leg injury in the first half, and he wasn't really the same after that. So.
No, comes back in the second half wearing a knee brace. Rams end up sneaking their way back into this game, almost pull off the win. Yeah. Philadelphia definitely does not look the same when he is not fully healthy.
I honestly, after Puka Nacua caught that ball, what were they on, the 10-yard line or something? I thought they were going to go in and win the game.
I did too. I thought it was a Rams game. And like I said, if this was a Rams home game, they win this game. Philadelphia doesn't stand a chance.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Definitely.
Gameplay is in L.A. It's flipped.
Or Arizona, wherever.
Or Arizona, yeah.
All right. Game of the weekend was in the AFC Divisional Round was Ravens at Bills. Bills win this one 27-25. And poor Mark Andrews. Butterfingers.
Tough to put this whole game on him. But
I know, but it comes down to that one play. It comes
down to that one play.
And you don't know if the Ravens are going to win it still, but, you got to make that catch. Got to make that catch. Andy had a fumble earlier in the game. Lamar Jackson had a turnover, too. And we were talking earlier, turnovers in this divisional round is what sealed the fate for some of these teams.
Absolutely. Bills allowed 176 yards of rushing and 416 yards overall. But those 3 turnovers
insane
really
dude.
Cost them the game.
How do you give them that much and you still lose the game? Insane.
Josh Allen, 16 for 22, 127 yards, 10 rushes for 20 yards, and 2 touchdowns for him. Great day.
Great day. Didn't have to do too much. Did just enough.
Did just enough.
Yeah, I mean, he was only averaging 2 yards a carry, so it's not like he was doing everything. But his 2 TDs followed by no turnovers is the difference in this game.
Absolutely. We said it last week. Whoever turns the ball over is going to win this MVP off, and there it is.
Josh
Allen, MVP.
There it is. I feel bad for Lamar because it's he can't win the big game, and it's kind of the same story. I feel like he's a better player this year. It's not all on him. He's playing better, but he just can't beat that team in the playoffs.
The other thing is Derrick Henry really wasn't able to get his foot started in this game.
Yeah, he never really got going. They had a great plan. The D linemen, the linebackers, they were on him before he could get to the next level.
Yeah.
They were slanting and bringing guys from all over the place. And like you said, Derrick Henry gets going. Mm-hmm. So he needs 2-3 steps and then he's going and you ain't stopping him. They were able to get him kind of behind the line of scrimmage, 1.5, 2 steps into his run, and he was fucked.
Yeah, no, he wasn't doing anything. Lamar Jackson, 18 for 25, 254 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception for him. Does have the 2 crucial turnovers that turn this game. Of course, as we said, the pick and the fumble that he drops behind the line really cost him the game.
Yep, turnovers. He even came out after the game, and he knows he can't be doing that.
No. And, of course, sad to see Mark Andrews on the sideline hanging his head. But nothing he can do.
Gotta make the catch.
Gotta make the catch. And like we said, sets us up for a great game rematch from earlier this season, from postseasons before. Buffalo Bills, Kansas City Chiefs.
Pretty much what everybody was expecting, I feel. Well, Ravens were kind of in there, but can't believe it's happening again. Can the Bills do it?
I mean, we said it when they played earlier this season when the Bills won. We said we're probably going to see this game again in the playoffs. So there it is. We have it.
Yep. Let's go. All right. News heard around the world today. The biggest news in sports. Ben Johnson to the Chicago Bears. Let's go.
Unbelievable.
Did I think this was going to happen? I got more worried as time went on. If you remember when Eberflus got fired the next day, I had my list of coaches. Mm-hmm. Since the day he got fired, he was number 1 on my list of coaches, and we fucking landed him. I feel like the way we went out and did it, within 48 hours, he was in Chicago, and the deal was getting done. If it would have waited any longer, I don't feel like we would have got it. Mm-hmm. Like, we had to get him in Chicago right away, and we were able to do that. I'm still kind of in shock that happened.
Absolutely, especially going into last night. A lot of the news and a lot of the momentum in the news was that the Raiders were the lock.
Everybody, yeah, and crazy.
I wake up this morning to a text, and about 25 minutes later, the news comes through: Ben Johnson to the Bears.
Ben Johnson to the Bears. One thing about it, I'm still concerned as a Bears fan. He's never been a head coach, so he has to come in, and hopefully he can hire the right staff around him. Word on the street is they're going to bring Dennis Allen in as D coordinator, which I love that. That's something that Ben Johnson will have to worry about then. If you could bring a coordinator in like that, come in and just kick ass. But being a Bears fan, like, I am not letting myself get too excited again after all the shit that happens year after year. I even don't want to get too excited today because it's like he's never been a head coach. Like, is it really going to pan out? So we'll see.
This was a hiring that worried me just because he's going to end up facing Dan Campbell 2 times a year, every year.
I'm not worried about that at all. If anything, I think him coaching with Dan Campbell, he got toughness from Dan Campbell, and I think him coaching with him is going to make him a way better coach. So, and why would he go to the AFC West where he has to play fucking Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes every year, and all the fucking the Rams who are in the playoffs or the Super Bowl every year? Like, why would you go to that division?
Yeah,
that's a way harder division to make it out of than the NFC North. Fucking all 3 NFC North teams got fucking rocked in the playoffs.
Yeah,
they were so good in the regular season for what? To get throttled in the playoffs? None of them were even close games.
Yeah. So
it was all blah, blah, blah. In the playoffs, you're trash. So go to the NFC North and win it all, baby.
Let's see it.
It ain't going to happen.
Let's see it happen.
Nah, I'm a Bears fan, dude. I know it ain't happening.
A little bit more about Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson from Charleston, South Carolina. He is 38 years old, so he is kind of on the younger end of coaches. He was a walk-on quarterback at the University of North Carolina, where he was the backup to TJ Yates.
Okay.
Don't know if you remember him.
I remember TJ.
His first NFL job was offensive assistant for the Miami Dolphins. In his final year with the Dolphins, he was the receiver coach. After Miami, he moved on to the Lions as an offensive quality control coach, becoming the offensive coordinator in February of 2022. So he's been the coordinator ever since last year. There were calls for him to become the Panthers head coach. He kind of was waiting for the right job, and he thinks Chicago is the right job, and they're pairing up. So we'll see what happens.
Unfortunately, now that means the Raiders are looking on to the next best candidate. The next best candidate looks to be Pete care.
I
Former
mean,
USC.
I like him as a coach. He was a great coach.
Absolutely. Former USC head coach led Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart to a national championship. Seattle to a Super Bowl.
Should have been more.
Should have been more. Should have handed it off to Marshawn Lynch.
But he's won everywhere he's gone.
Absolutely. So. And I think the only downside for him is he's on a little bit on the older side. We don't want him passing out at the helm. But
dying on
but other than that, I mean, let's put it in motion. Let's get these contracts going. Let's get
Yeah, I mean, there were 7 openings. 2 are filled. Vrabel to the Patriots, Johnson to the Bears. So what are the 5 openings we got left?
We got the Dallas Cowboys,
Saints,
New
Cowboys,
Orleans Saints,
Giants. No, Giants have their fucking
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Kept their coach.
Jacksonville Jaguars, New York Jets, Las Vegas Raiders, New Orleans Saints, and Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys. I heard Kellen Moore maybe to the Cowboys. Kind of, they've been linked up before, so kind of like that one. Mike McCarthy maybe to the Saints. I've kind of been hearing that.
I'd like that one.
I honestly, I would have taken him as a Bears head coach. I don't think he's the worst coach. I think he's a good offensive coach, and we already had a quarterback in place, so that would have been the worst thing to me. But
I mean, he's been successful.
Yeah, he's been successful. It's just, I don't know. Yeah, he's just kind of, there's something about him.
Just mediocrity is the thing.
Right.
It's
It's crazy that like these players and coaches can ride one Super Bowl for a career, but there aren't many Super Bowl winners.
No.
Like the more we're diving into football this year, like I haven't been this aware of football and dove into football like this, but the more I'm realizing is like there are not many Super Bowl winners.
No.
Because like whenever the merger had maybe 50, there's like 50 Super Bowl winners, and then Tom Brady has 6 of them, so there's 44, and then Mahomes has how many? So it's like then the Jets had a ton back in the day, so there are not many guys out there winning Super Bowls for sure.
Nah, not at all. All right, this week our college football final recap is brought to you by our friends over at Negus Coffee Club. Comes in beans or ground and has some fire flavor notes. The one we got here is Ethiopia blend made with notes of berry and black tea. Real fire.
Real fire. You got that weed hangover in the morning, get a cup of Negus coffee, and you'll be ready to go.
All right, today, Monday, January 20th, the college football playoff came to a conclusion with the national championship in Atlanta, Georgia. Notre Dame versus Ohio State, 23-34 final score. Ohio State wins the Natty champion.
They did it. They went on a run after that Michigan loss. Ryan Day's sticking around. $20 million roster. Won it all. Is this the hardest national championship a team has ever won? You could say so because they had to win, 16 games?
Had to win 16 games.
So
That's a lot of games.
A lot more games than the other teams have won.
Absolutely. A couple standout players from this game. Will Howard, Ohio State quarterback, 2 touchdowns for him. Using his legs really gave this offense a new dimension. Notre Dame really had no answers for him.
Yeah, didn't really have any answers. He was like 15 for 16 in the first half, 100-something yards, couple TDs, absolutely went off. They couldn't stop him at all.
Riley Leonard, bright spot for him. Very impressive first drive of this game. Eats up about 10 minutes of game clock.
That might, honestly, for the situation and the stage, that might be a top 3 drive I have ever seen. For them to, like you said, take 10 minutes off, ran the ball 10 fucking times at least. I don't know exactly how many.
He ran 11 rushes on that drive.
Like
comes off after he scores the touchdown, pukes and rallies, comes back in.
Like crazy. But that might have fucked him up for like 2 quarters.
Rest of the game, absolutely.
Yeah. But literally, one of the best drive I've ever seen. One of the best drives I've ever seen. The way they went down there, fucking. But yeah, they couldn't keep up with Ohio State at the end of the day.
Nah. Ohio State running back Judkins, 2 touchdowns for him, 9 carries for 96 yards. And of course, Jeremiah Smith, the star wide receiver, dagger play from Howard, drops it in the bucket. 3rd and long, Ohio State wins the national championship. End of story.
End of story. Ohio State does it.
Right? First time we have a 12-team playoff, and Ohio State wins it all.
Yeah, but I mean, they were front runners from beginning to end this season. They had some losses in there, but they were expected to win it all.
Absolutely. Looking back, I mean, I think they were one of our top our final four teams. So it was
Yeah.
so there we expected them to be.
Well,
in
we
this
knew
spot.
with that roster.
Yeah.
With that roster, if they didn't,
It was a disappointment.
Right, which that's tough to like have those expectations and actually follow through with it.
Yeah.
In the first year of the playoff too, which like none of these teams have ever. It's all new to all the teams.
All the teams.
Like the NFL playoffs, we're talking the Chiefs get these buys and they know exactly what to do. They've had it this year. No one knew what the fuck to do, dude.
Yeah.
So new to everybody. It was absolutely awesome. College football playoffs are where it's at, and it's only going to get better.
It's only going to get better, and like we said, college football scheme is changing. Notre Dame is not going to be the same Notre Dame. They have money now. They're going to have a $20 million roster next year.
Get out of here,
and they're going to
dude.
be right
Get
back in.
out of here, dude.
Shout out, Poos. Next year's
God,
Notre Dame's
dude.
year.
Fuck me. I gotta listen to two idiots. Fuck.
Hey, proof's in the pudding.
Jesus Christ. Anyways, college football next year, looking forward a little bit. Quinn Ewers is entering the draft. It is Arch Manning's time at Texas. That's what I've been waiting for. He's got to be the front runner for Heisman next year.
Absolutely. Let's not forget the Bill Belichick era begins at University of North Carolina.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be
Will
something
the
to
Tar
see,
Heels
dude.
be back in it?
I can't wait to see his post-game press conferences. Are they going to be like the Patriots ones where he just doesn't say shit?
I want to see what his demeanor is on the sideline.
Right,
Is he going to be
a different coach because he's this kids now, or like it's going to be awesome?
It's going to be awesome.
Can't wait.
Can't wait. 2025 college football season, 12-team playoff. We're going to be pumped for it.
Pumped for it. It's sad it's over.
It's sad
It
it's over.
hasn't really sunk in yet because we still have NFL games, but we're not too far away from no more football.
We have 3 weeks left in this football
Well, pretty much
endeavor.
2 weeks of football, though.
2 weeks, one with
We
the
got
Pro
3
Bowl.
games.
We got 3 games, yeah.
There's 3 games left.
Yeah. And this football endeavor we've been on for these past 26 weeks. Yeah, 26 weeks.
We started
Yeah,
preseason
so
this
26
year.
weeks. It's coming to a close.
Coming to a close.
And unfortunately, that is a wrap for
That's
this
it.
episode of Spark It Up Sports. Thanks for watching.
Like, follow, subscribe. Reminder for our loyal fans out there, the video is released on YouTube every Thursday. Audio can be found on Spotify, iTunes, and Amazon Music. Let us know what you think in the comments. Go Bears, Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams, Super Bowl.
Go Raiders. Petey Carroll. Bring in the next evolution.
I'm not chewing his gum, dude. That's
Bring
it.
back Reggie Bush, baby.